if you feel like you're not making progress in life, welcome, welcome, welcome. Because this is definitely for you. This is for sure for you, actually. What? For sure. The reason why you're not making progress in life is, I'd say, one of three things, or maybe more. Could be two, could be all three, but it's three things for sure. Three. It's either one, you don't have a plan. Two, you have a plan, but you're not working on that plan. And three, you are working on that plan, but you're not working on that plan consistently. And those are the only three reasons why you're not making progress in life. You're like, really? I mean, this is kind of common sense, isn't it? Yeah, but it's easier said than done. And trust me, one of the reasons why I said that you found this video at the right time is because I've experienced this myself. And I'm kind of still experiencing it right now. You feel me? This is such a interesting video I'm making because it's so crazy. Struggling, and something that I struggle with is the third aspect. That's just what's the thing that I struggle with the most is not working on something consistently and seeing it through to the point that it actually yields like significant results. I feel like this is not only me, but a lot of us, we all deal with this, is that we have a plan, we set out a goal for ourselves, and we show that we work hard at this goal, but we're not doing it consistently enough. And because we're not doing it consistently enough, the results really can't produce like it's going to. For example, a plant. You know what I'm saying? Like a plant, the purpose of having a plant is for it to grow and produce fruit, right? So what do? That's the plan. You have the plan down. Your job is to water it, make sure it gets the proper amount of sunlight, make sure it's in the perfect position. The root is on good soil. It's perfectly positioned, and many other factors that would cause a plant to grow. That's the work ethic. And the third thing is doing that consistently every single day, making sure that plant is watered every single day, making sure that plant is receiving a good amount of sunlight. If it's raining, making sure that plant is not getting too much rain, getting too much water, because that's also not good as well. But doing this consistently. And the biggest problem, like I said earlier, the biggest problem with number 3 is that you don't trust your plan. Because think about it. This usually happens because we're not seeing results. You usually are not consistently putting in work ethic because you're not seeing results. Meaning that because you're not seeing results, in our heads, we automatically think, okay, so this just doesn't work because we're not seeing results. But no, you just haven't done it for long enough to really see those results. Shout out to Alex Hormozy, because he actually said this. He gave this example that was amazing. I'm just gonna give you a summary because I feel kind of crazy for just taking that for giving you guys an in-depth explanation, because he actually broke this down perfectly. But basically, he drew a triangle, or not a triangle, I had a triangle. He drew like a mountain, right? And there was different, and obviously like the top of the mountain was the end goal for everybody. But he drew different like paths, different avenues. Like one was a straight line, one was kind of diagonal, one was like super wiggly, one was like, different routes. And he was saying that like, we all start at the bottom, and each person has their own route, their own avenue, their own way to success. And he was saying that like, you know, usually like there's little progress made, which is exactly what I'm talking about. The third aspect, little progress made. And there's little progress made, and there's little progress made, and it's kind of at the bottom of the bottom of the hill is where usually a lot of people are at. But there's also at the same time, while they're looking at the hill, they're also looking at all these other hills, all these other avenues that people are taking, and like, oh, actually that looks easier. Actually, I think I'm gonna do that. Actually, I think I'm gonna do this, and that stops them from the path that they're already on, and it kind of like get discouraged to the point where it's like, oh, dang, maybe I could just do this path because it looks easy. But at the end of but he was in the illustration, he was like saying like what they fail to understand is that like by you stop quitting that path and trying to go to the other path, it's not like you just hop on to the next path. No, you have to go all the way back down to the mountain and start from scratch and try to go back to that path, try to get to the point where that person's at. So in hindsight, basically, you're not sticking to one path is actually wasting more time. You're not sticking to one path is wasting more. You hopping from path to path to path actually doesn't get you anywhere. So if you took out your time through prayer, through your brain power, through wise counsel to generate a plan that you generally think is gonna work, then you should not waste your time trying to worry about other things. And I'm saying this because this is what I did. Feel me? This is what I did. Now, I'm going to give you guys a concrete example. This is actually very near to my heart, and wow, it's crazy because this is very near to my heart, and I know I told y'all literally like 2 videos ago that you shouldn't be yapping all the time. But the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because actually the main reason why I'm telling you guys this is because one, I'm actually being obedient to the Holy Spirit because the Holy Spirit told me that I should tell you guys this. That's one. And two, he probably told me this because it's going to actually help you guys. And it's going to actually give you guys instead of me just like speaking in a theoretical sense, you'll actually like understand like why I'm saying this because I generally experience this. But nonetheless, basically, I basically got a vision. God gave me a vision that was very interesting at a very pivotal point in my life. And basically around like December 2022, January 2023, that period of my life was such an eye-opening part of my life. Basically, I was college student. I was in college. I went to a 4-year college. And I was kind of struggling. I was struggling with my assignments and things of that sort. And mind you, this college was pretty far away from home. And basically, it was pointless to continue there because I wasn't performing. And, school is not free. So, I no longer attended that college. And I came back home. When I came back home, I was so devastated by, just the events that happened during that time. And I was genuinely like wondering to myself, that was a point in my life where I was genuinely confused. And when I say confused, I mean like, I didn't know what to do from that point on. I didn't know what I would be doing in my life. I didn't know if, like, I just had no sense of purpose. And at that point, it was like, I wouldn't say like I was depressed or I was like suicidal, but I will say that life was literally pointless, like literally. Like, I felt like life was pointless because I had no idea why I was in my parents' house, why I was breathing air, why I had life in me, At that point, I was generally contemplating, like, what am I put on this earth to do? You feel me? What am I actually supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? That is the question and this is probably something that we've all like experienced, but like this hit like this really hit. You feel me? Like I was like, what am I supposed to be doing with? You feel me? Like what's going on? Like, should I even go back to college? Like that was literally like, what was literally my thoughts? Like, should I even go back to college? Like, I don't even know if like this is for me. You feel me? And at that point in my life, I was like, yo, I don't know what to do. And basically, and this is like towards the end of, like, this is like December of 2022. And basically, for like a week, because this is like the end, like literally, this happened like literally the last week of December. So that, like, prior to just like leaving and not coming back and like figuring out I wasn't gonna come back, I genuinely didn't know. Like, at that point, I was so confused with life that I knew that like there's no way I could actually like continue living my life until I get an answer, until I figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing, like for real. And it's crazy because even looking back now, that was actually like a problem that I had even before going into college, but it just blew up in my face at that moment. That's when that was a manifestation of a problem that I dealt with even prior coming into college, not even knowing what I wanted to do. So, but we're, at that event that happened, I was the last week of January, even like pretty much the first week of January, it was like 2 weeks, I was genuinely wondering. I was literally confused. I didn't know what I didn't know, I was just, I was so confused. I was literally like looking up how to be successful. I was literally searching up on Google. At that time, like ChatGPT, I'm pretty sure I heard it was released in 2020, like 2020, like late 2022, but I wasn't aware of it at the time. So I was literally Googling like how to be successful, how to know what you want to do with your life. I was literally Googling things that are like, that Google can't really answer for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just couldn't. And I was like, bro, what am I supposed to be doing? You feel me? And this is something that I felt like for days. And the sad thing I would say is that I didn't consult God at this point because I don't know why I didn't, but I just didn't. I was just genuinely confused. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I was just I was so confused. Like, a confusion that I've never experienced in my life. And I don't know if I ever will experience again. I don't know. But this was like the turning point in my life because I genuinely, it was the first time I was like, okay, this is an experience that is traumatic. And, and I feel like I don't have the solution to it. You feel me? And that like literally bothered me to an extent that I couldn't continue without finding that solution. So fast forward to basically the 8th day of the year, January 8th. So from the 1st to the 7th, I'm, searching up, watching videos, how to be successful, different career paths, how long it takes to get there. Does it require school? Does it require what qualifications? Do I need certifications? Do I need these type of skills? What do I need? Do I need to learn coding? Do I need and what's this path look like? What's that path look like? What does this path look like? What does that path look like? And it's crazy. Even went to a couple of like seminars, workshops on different like skills, like YouTube automation, and I stumbled upon this one video, and this video single-handedly changed my life, genuinely. And it changed my life because, and I thank God for that video to this day, because it showed me, from there, God gave me my vision, or God gave me the vision for what I'm supposed to be doing and what I'm called to do. Basically, I'm going to summarize the video because the video isn't necessarily, it kind of is, but the video was basically about a guy who didn't go to college. Basically, he was very unsatisfied with where he was in life. But he was a believer and he had a very, very strong relationship with God. To fast forward the story short, he basically took a boot camp in like tech sales or sales engineering and became a sales engineer and basically went from making like, cause before that he was literally like doing like he was doing Uber. He was like Uber and full time. He went from making like 60K to like 300 something, and that was eye opening for me because I was like, really? So you can so you can literally change your life off of doing something like this? And I was like, wow, you know? And that opened my mind to like the possibilities. I was like, you know? This look cool. This look really, this looks cool and it looks like something I could actually do. And the fact that like I was just thinking about it more and more. I was like, I could really do this. And that's when it's like, okay, if I can really do this, why not just do it? You feel me? And basically that and along with and I was just pondering on this. I was like thinking, dang, should I really do this? Like, should I really do this? Like, because I was really thinking like if I'm like because he like didn't really, you don't really have to go to college to do this, like, you know, do I really need to go back to college? You know, and I was just pondering about that. And just in the midst, how God works, it's crazy. In the midst of pondering about that and thinking about that, I just started to get these visions playing out in my head, and I was like, because at that time I wanted to do YouTube automation, and I was like, I was seeing visions of YouTube automation, multiple channel, or YouTube automation is basically like a faceless YouTube channel. So I'm basically like envisioning myself with a faceless YouTube channel. Not only that, but having multiple faceless channels and also personal, like my also personal channel, like this one. And I was just seeing myself like I was seeing like the channel was like, you know, being created, and I was like, I had all these channels that I was working on, and I was just in love with the journey, you know? And I was saying like, and this is the thing, I'm describing to you guys the vision, and the truth of the matter is that was really the only thing I saw. I didn't really see like any other avenues. The thing is, in the dream, it was clear that that wasn't the only thing I was doing, but it wasn't clear exactly what the other stuff was. It was only clear that YouTube was in the equation, and it's probably the main thing. And that's what I was thinking in my head. And and I knew that I knew in the dream that I was, well, not the dream, because I was wide awake. It wasn't like I was sleeping. I knew in the vision that I was going to be very, very successful. And I got this type of joy. Because imagine going from completely hopeless, you know? It's almost like when you give your life to Christ, you were eternally condemned, you know what I'm saying? You were eternally condemned. And Jesus comes and saves your soul. And you go from someone who was supposed to be in hell to being redeemed. And God the Father, having reconciled back with God the Father. It's the same way I felt. Completely lost. Completely aimless. Not even knowing where I would end up, you know? And after having that vision, I was so empowered. I was so confident. I was filled with so much conviction. So much conviction that I knew man, I know what I want to do now, and I know my plan, I know my path, and now all I gotta do is execute. Right? This was the after having that vision, I knew that YouTube is part of my path for sure, and I knew that it's time to get to work and start. You know, after getting that vision, it was, and when I think, and even when I'm describing this today, the Holy Spirit right now is confirming. You know what I'm saying? Like this was actually a vision from God, and the crazy thing is that I was filled with so much conviction in the moment, but after, after, because that was in 2023, and today we're in what, 2025, so time has passed, and from then until now, the mental acknowledgement in my head that this is my passion and this is what I'm supposed to be doing has not left, but my actions didn't translate. You feel me? My actions did not translate. And this is what I said. The third thing I said earlier about not working consistently. Not working consistently. It's not that I didn't have a plan. I had the plan. I had the vision now. And my work ethic was fluctuate at times. But when I was working, but it wasn't consistent. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't consistent. And that was because of limiting beliefs. Because, after having that vision, I told my parents, like, yo, I was fired up. Almost like Joseph. I said in that last video, I was fired up. I was like, yo, I'm trying to start YouTube. I'm going to do this. My parents were like, are you tripping? No, you're going back to college. You're going back to school. You're going back to, you feel me? And it's so crazy because it's crazy how I'm even saying it. I was like, I honestly, there's days where I was like, I don't think I would ever, I knew I was going to have to tell this story at some point, but I didn't think it was going to be this soon. You feel me? But either way, I was, I was fired up. I told all my siblings, my parents, I was like, yo, I'm fired. I'm like, I know what I want to do. I really know what I want to do with my life. Like, really, like, for real this time. Like, because, like I told you, this wasn't like a college thing. This was like, even in high school, like, I didn't actually know what I wanted to do. Like, I was like, because in high school, honestly, like, I was hooping. So, like, I was really a hooper. And outside of that, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And it got to a point where, like, I actually did want to hoop, but that's neither here or there. The point is, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. You feel me? Like, I had no idea. I had no idea what I wanted to do, and that's why, like, honestly, I was struggling in school in the first place because I didn't have an actual vision. So, like I said, if you can't work hard at something. You can't work hard towards something that you can't work hard towards no goal. I had no goal. Like, I had no vision. I had nowhere to. So there was no way for me to, like, actually, like, apply myself. You know what I'm saying? Because people, like, you don't just work for no reason. Everyone works towards something. I didn't have anything to work towards because I didn't know what I was created to do. And that blew up. And unfortunately, like, that caught up to me at some point. You feel me? But but this was the first time I actually knew what I wanted to do. And I was like, this is amazing, bro. Thank God, because this is the first time I actually know what I want to do. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. Now I know what I want to do. Now let's just do it now. Let's just get it done. You feel me? You know what to do. You know where to go. You know, like, where you want to be. So let's just execute and get it done. But guess what? Limiting beliefs. People, my peoples around me. It was like, maybe not my peoples, but my parents specifically, they was like, um, I think something is wrong with you. You feel me? Like, I think you're not right in the head. I don't think you're right in the head. I think something wrong with you. You feel me? I think something is actually wrong with you. Cause what are you saying right now? You want to be a YouTube. You want to do YouTube. What? And it's crazy because they were giving me advice on what to do, how to go about it, and they're even saying like, at the end of the day, we support you, we love you, you know. Because obviously, like I'm saying, the way I just said it, it sounded like they just shutting it down, but they obviously care for my well-being, like for sure, and I know they support me, and as long as I'm whatever I'm doing is not illegal or you know, they would support me. But they're like, just to only do that and feel like you don't need to go to school is kind of unwise. And I understand that perspective, but we're not gonna get too deep into that. Let me just continue. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make any sense. And basically they were yeah, basically they were giving me advice on how to, you know, proceed with my life and the vision that I had. And and basically there's a lot of things they said that kind of, you know, when you're initially passionate about something, like you tell someone about it and they just kind of it's like they kind of like slowly distinguish that flame, you know, extinguish that flame. It's kind of what they do. And I'm not putting the blame entirely on them, but it definitely had a part to play. But um, these past 2 years, I've tried so many different things, so many different business models, so many different careers. I've tried so many things, a number of things, so many things I've tried throughout this year, and I'd say a lot of them were very, very lucrative. So a couple of them probably weren't that lucrative, but majority of them were lucrative. But that's the thing. I tried so many of them, and I mean try so many of them. What I'm really trying to say is that, in hindsight, looking now, one thing I learned is that I didn't actually try any of those at all. Because in order to truly try something, you need to give it time. For you to try something, to actually give something an equal a fair shot, you need to be working on that thing for at least a year. You know what I'm saying? And I actually read that in the book too. Like, um, the book is called Managing Oneself. I forgot the author's name, but it basically says in the book, in order to, like, basically, in order to be successful, you have to understand like your strengths, your weaknesses. And one of the things he was saying is like, one way you understand like whether you're good at something or you're not good at something is by actually putting whatever you're trying to, like, whatever you think you're good at to the test, or whatever you think you're bad at to the test. Either one. If you think you're bad at something, put it to the test for a year. Create a test that would actually test the metrics on your performance, and basically that'll tell you if you're actually bad at that thing or you're quite the opposite. You're good at it, and vice versa. You know, I mean, this obviously can be applied to like ventures and pretty much anything. Like, in order to really try something, in order to really, you know, in order to really figure out if you're really good at something, you need to try for at least a year. That's when you actually tried something. And I was going like months, sometimes even weeks, like doing new things, and it's like I was doing so much of that I wasn't even on YouTube for most of the time. I barely posted. I posted like 2 videos. I have to have 2 channels, and I posted like 2 videos in the span of what, 3 years now, 2 to 3 years now. And this is supposed to be my vision. This is supposed to be, this is supposed to be what God literally showed me. He literally showed me that this is the path. This is it right here. This is it. Me and you right here. This is it. And I was running in circles, trying all these things. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, I learned a lot from it. And I'm not entirely angry about that. But at the same time, it's like, brother, bro, if you're going to be doing all that, you could have at least been putting your all into this. You know what I'm saying? And it's because and I could say, and this goes back to like what I said at first at the very beginning of the video. The reason why I was going through circles like this is because I didn't trust the vision, even though it came from God. Even though it came from God, I still didn't trust the vision for some reason. I think, like I said, I think that has something to do with the limiting beliefs, what I was told, like throughout that time, and it was just kind of like shaking my confidence. But at the same time, because I know that vision was from God, that mental headspace, like that mental bandwidth in my head, never left. Like, as much as they try to extinguish the flame, I know that was from God. I know that I'm supposed to be doing that. But they definitely made me like lose my trust in the process and my trust in the actual mission, the vision, and the goal, which in turn made me like try to turn to other avenues. And it was just, and that kept going. Oh, that was over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, And I just ended up not making any progress whatsoever. So this is crazy that I'm actually saying this right now. And this is like a FaceTime. Like, trust me, y'all. Like if you don't like this video, bro, if you don't comment, if you don't engage, you feel me? I just put my whole life story on the line, and you ain't show no type of engagement. Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? I know about you. I know about you for sure. But anyways, I hope y'all learn a lot from this, because this is the key to progress, seriously. And I hope y'all can see it and not only this video, but all the videos I've been posting as of recent, that this is the key. This is the key, and it's only the beginning. So yeah, that's my story, but that's the key to making progress. Have a plan, work towards that plan, and work towards it and continue to do it consistently. Don't stop until you see results. That is how to make progress. It's as simple as that. You feel me? And the third one is very important, because you can't stop, but you can't get sidetracked by other people's avenues, other people doing stuff. Oh, this person's doing this. Oh, this person's doing that. You have to have tunnel vision. You can't be swayed left and right. You can't allow that. You cannot allow that. You have to trust the vision and trust that it's gonna work for you. Especially if God is telling you. You feel me? Like in my case, if God was telling me, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, why in the world was I wasting my time with a lot of other stuff that could work, but probably wasn't necessary for me to go through, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, to make progress, you need a plan. You need to work towards that plan, and you need to work towards it consistently until you see results. Well, I guess for some people asking now, well, how do I formulate that plan? Well, you guys just heard my story, so I told you how. I mean, you should kind of have somewhat of an idea of how to, formulate that plan. The Bible says in Matthew 7:7, asking you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. So you have to literally search in order to figure out that plan, or in order to figure out that vision. You have to search for it. You cannot, like I told you, I was desperate. Like I didn't want to live until I figured that out. I didn't want to actually live. Like, I didn't want to kill myself, but at the same time, like, I was kind of, like, I said I wasn't depressed, but I kind of was. But it was so weird because it wasn't like it was just like, I just cannot, it was almost like how you play video games, or how you play, like 2K, like or how you play, or you're in a movie when it's like, the show cannot go on until this gets figured out. Like I can't move forward until this gets figured out. And I was like, I was set on that. So if you want to figure that out, if you feel like you don't know how to go about that, ask the Lord and be intentional. Seriously. I know I say that a lot in my videos, but that's just because that is the truth. That is literally the truth. You feel me? Because, you feel me? But, yeah. I'd say that, and I'd say mostly that because that's what led me to the video I watched. So I guess I'd say other than that is actually just search that up, ask for help, ask people, oh, I'm struggling with direction. I don't know what to do. Ask people. Just ask wise counsel. Ask. My wise counsel at that time was the internet. You feel me? To an extent, But yeah, because like I said, once you have the plan, it's everything else it's pretty straightforward in terms of what to do, but it's difficult when it comes to actually doing it, So with that being said, this is a very, very long but very, very raw video, as y'all can see. Like, very raw video. But I believe that this is how God wanted it. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all so much. God bless y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow with the next vid, which is probably tomorrow. Love y'all. Love y'all so much. All right, y'all.